Hi everyone, Paul Haywood here. Welcome to the channel. This is where I upload saxophone lessons to help you be the best player you can be. Today we're going to be looking at the Dorian minor scale. This is a really important scale to know because it's used in jazz a lot, and it's also sometimes used in funk, smooth jazz and pop, although the Aeolian or natural minor can often be a better fit for that. I covered that in a previous video which I'll link in the description. The Dorian minor scale is usually used over a minor 7 chord or a variation of that. A minor 7 chord is a chord which has got a flattened third and a flattened seventh. So in a minor chord, that flattened third is called a minor third and the flattened 7 is called a minor 7. We can find these chords either in a static groove based on a minor chord or in chord sequences moving through harmony. There's really two different ways of looking at how we make a Dorian minor. The first way I'll explain here is the easiest, but I'd recommend checking out the second explanation because we'll start looking at the modes of the major scale, which are really important to get to grips with if you want to start playing any jazz improvisation. So before we start, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to my Patreon patrons for supporting the channel and helping me to make videos like this for you guys. So let's learn the Dorian minor scale. I'll show you the notes and fingers close up in just a moment. So the first way is to take our major scale and then flatten the third and the seventh notes. So let's do that with C major. So C major scale first. So we're going to take the third note, the E, flatten it to E flat. And our seventh note, the B, flatten it to B flat. Hear that difference to the minor scale against the major? So minor first, then major. They've got a very different sound and feel and character. Don't forget you're also going to want to learn the 4-note arpeggio to go to this scale, so that would be the minor 7 arpeggio. And to do that we just take the first, third, fifth and seventh note of the Dorian scale. So that gives us that nice minor arpeggiated sound. Now let's go through the scale note by note before I explain to you the other way of thinking about the scale. Don't forget I'm going to use exaggerated finger movements here so you can see the keys. Remember to keep your fingers nice and close and relaxed. So we're going to start with C down the bottom. So that's 1, 2, 3 fingers, 1, 2, 3, and our low C key. Then up a tone to D. Up a semitone to our minor third, the E flat. Now up a tone to F, the 4. Up another tone to G, the 5th. Up another tone to A, the 6th. Now up a semitone to our B flat, the flat 7 or minor 7. Now up a tone to get to our root at the top. Back down, tone to the B flat on minor 7. Now a semitone to the A. A tone to the G. Another tone to the F. Another tone to get to our E flat, the minor third. Now down a semitone to the D. And finally, our last tone down to our root, the C. So that gives us our C Dorian minor scale. Can you hear those flattened thirds and sevenths compared to the major here? Minor third and minor 7. Now, the other way of thinking about how we make a Dorian minor scale is by thinking of the modes of the major scale. We'll do a lesson in the future looking at modal scales in general, but for now you just need to know that the Dorian minor scale is the second mode of the major scale, which means that C Dorian minor has the same notes as B flat major scale, but just starting from its second note, the C natural. So here's the B flat major scale, complete with its B flat and E flats. So we just move up to B flat major scale second note, which is the C, from B flat to low C. And we play the same scale, B flat major, but from C to C. And we get the C Dorian minor scale. Remember, the Dorian minor scale is the second mode of the major scale. So to find the right parent scale for C Dorian, you have to ask yourself, what is C the second note of? And the answer is B flat major. And that technique works in any key, so if you want to find A Dorian minor, you just say what is A the second note of, and A is the second note of G major scale. So for A Dorian minor, you will play the notes of G major, but from A to A. I think it's really important to understand that this modal scale is taken from a parent major scale, but I recommend that you learn the Dorian minor in its own right. It's only got a flattened third and seventh compared to the major scales, so it's not too much to remember once you've got it under your fingers and in your ears. So learn the sound and the notes of the scale in this key, and then start learning it in all your other keys. If you're interested, I'll post a resource with this scale written out in all 12 keys up on my Patreon page. We're going to look at how to use this scale for improvising in more detail in future videos, so subscribe if you want to catch those. I really hope that this video has been helpful to you. If it has, remember to hit like and consider sharing it with your friends. It means a huge amount to me, and it will help get the video out to more saxophone players like yourselves. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.